Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sin. On my channel, I do a lot of film commentary, specifically about female directors, but those take a lot of time to edit. So I've been trying to film and post some filler content, I guess you could call it, in between those film commentary videos. I'm now 26, and I've been thinking about this a lot recently. I'm really happy that I'm getting older. I know. Give me a second.
Let him cook!
I understand we live in a society that's very youth obsessed. I know, I used to be a girl in her early 20s living in Los Angeles. I know firsthand how obsessed some people are about the youths, okay? Recently on my feeds, I've been getting a lot of what I wish I told my 20-something-year-old self as a 30, 40, 50, 60, even 80-year-old. And I'm only 26, so me being 21 was not that long ago. But from 21 to 26, a big thing happened. My frontal lobe developed, and I kid you not, I felt it physically, in my body when that part of my brain was just done cooking. The way I used to process certain things and think about things completely changed. For example, my ex-boyfriend. I had a boyfriend who was
older.
Right before I moved back. I started dating him when I was 23. My thought process about our relationship when I first met him versus me as a 25, 26-year-old looking back, two very different schools of thought. As a 23-year-old, I was so driven by our chemistry and the fact that being with him made me feel good, and I just really liked spending time with him, and that drove me to pursue a relationship with him. And now as a 26-year-old, I'm kind of against big age gaps.
You better stop!
And especially with anyone under the age of 25. If you're in your 30s and you're dating a 50-year-old, that's a pretty big age gap. You're both adults. So I kind of wanted to make this video about what I wish I was able to understand now that I've lived through it, and this is kind of my mentality as a 26-year-old. I didn't really make a list, I'm just gonna yap. 1, relationships. I guess in the relationships department, I would say relationships should complement your life. It's not something that's absolutely necessary, even though you're exposed to this idea and this rhetoric that you need to find a partner, you need to get married, you need to do this, you need to do that. I'm here to tell you, it's not as important or as big as people make it out to be. And if it truly doesn't fit in what you want out of life, then don't try to have a relationship. I know for a very long time, I thought I needed to be in a relationship just because all my friends always were. I was kind of told that you could get where you want to be in life all on your own. It's going to take a little longer than if you just have someone in your corner that can facilitate the relationships, the resources, and all these things. And for a long time, I was striving to have these things because I was kind of told that I needed them. But after taking a long break from dating, an actual break from dating, no apps, no nothing, almost a year of just being by myself and really reflecting on what I wanted out of this life. And I realized being in a relationship isn't something I want. And it just doesn't fit into the puzzle that is the life I'm trying to build. Big piece of big sister advice. Don't go after a relationship if that's not truly what you want, just because you've been told that's something that you should want. 2, it's no secret I moved back home to my college town, my small college town. Campus culture and campus life and student life and pursuing a degree and all these things are good things, right? But I do want to say this. If you don't know what you want to do just yet, because it's very hard to know when you're so young, I don't think it's fair that we make 18-year-olds decide what they want to do with their life that young. A lot of times people later in life either change their careers or aren't satisfied with the career that they chose when they were literally underdeveloped 18-year-olds. A piece of advice that I've tried to live my life by is I've never gotten my bachelor's degree because I always said I would never invest that much money into a degree unless I was absolutely 1,000% sure that's exactly what I wanted to do. I could see myself doing that for the rest of my life. And that decision didn't come until I was 24. Don't get me wrong, I have my associate's degree. I did go to college right after high school, but not a 4-year university. Again, I had grown up seeing other generations indebted for life, for hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt. And I just said, that's not going to be me. I said, no, thank you. And I opted out for community college. And I want that to be pushed onto more students because yes, getting into like an Ivy League and getting into a 4-year is appealing, and your prospects of getting hired are greater, and all these things are true. Like, don't let me dissuade you from going to a 4-year if that's truly what you want to do. But if you're still unsure, if you don't have the money, if you need more time, I absolutely recommend, if you're still in high school and you watch my stuff, please look into community colleges. Community colleges have great resources. They get you on track for getting your 4-year, and they're like a fourth of the cost of a 4-year while you're still figuring your shit out. Like, it is a godsend. It's just overall like a better stepping stone to getting what ultimately you want out of your academic career. I guess I'll end on life. When I was 19, I moved to Los Angeles all by myself. Don't get me wrong, I had a little bit of financial help from my mom, so it made the transition a little easier, but it didn't really fund my life in LA. I lived in LA for about 5 years, and I lived through the pandemic. And I really moved out there not knowing a single person, not knowing anything about Los Angeles, only having visited it one time, and just being completely on my own. Would I do that again? Fuck no. And I feel like the only reason I did it in the first place was because I did move before I turned 25. This right here, this part of your brain that does risk assessment, not fully cooked. Like looking back now as a 26-year-old, what was I thinking? Don't get me wrong, I don't regret doing it just because I met so many amazing people, had some amazing experiences. Some of my best friends in the entire world live in Los Angeles, and I can't wait to go see them again. That city has my heart, and I love it to the day I die. I love you, Los Angeles. There's no other place on this earth quite like it. That being said, I would never make that drastic of a change ever again. Even my move to like come back to my hometown, I thought about that for at least 4 months. I'm mature enough to admit that I was running away to Los Angeles. Now that I'm in therapy, I realized I was definitely trying to outrun my trauma and not deal with the pain that I endured in Virginia. And moving back, I realized that. And if I were to move somewhere else again, I don't want the move to be an escape from whatever it is I'm not dealing with here. I'm not saying I'm gonna like wait until I've processed all my trauma, because we don't have that much time. You know, the time keeps ticking and you still have to live your life. But that being the main reason for moving to another city, I don't want it to be that. If I were to move to a new city, it would be because of career opportunities, because I want to experience a new city. And these are just things that have kind of been on my mind that I've wanted to talk to someone about. Let me know if this is helpful. Let me know if you want me to do more of these, because I do have a lot of things I'm thinking about that I would love to share. By all means, I'm not like a life coach or anything, but I've just been thinking a lot. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.